Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We are investigating the murder of Sakura. I've been wondering a couple things actually. Aoi said that she took the box of candy right after the warehouse opened, so that would have been after the first trial. So for all this time, she's been hanging on to that box, which means in order for Yasuhiro to get an extra wrapper, he would have had to go through Aoi first. If that's the correct implication, maybe he stole it when she wasn't looking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the details on that. I don't even know if it's relevant to the case, because it doesn't really matter how I'm automatically assuming it's Hiro because he's acting the most suspicious, but this game has been known to play with my emotions and expectations. Another thing I've been wondering, did Sakura position herself in front of the door on purpose? Did she lock the door herself? What's the definition of a locked door? Does it have to have a lock? Where am I going? Chem Lab? Yeah, right, Chem Lab. It's on autopilot while I talk. Yeah, did Sakura lock the door herself, or was it the perpetrator? How did they get out? Stuff like that. Curious that what? Makoto, did you have your eye on the Chem Lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Somebody didn't clean up their mess. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. What indeed? There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out. And at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then, this powder must have been spilled...
So, in other words...
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Whose footprints are these? What was that noise? These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So, how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me?
I see.
So when you look at it like this... Interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints had only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No!
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are really a really valuable clue. I didn't get a truth bullet for that. I guess I don't have definitive evidence, I guess. Let's see. What's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All of the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section A. But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? Somehow I highly doubt that. On this shelf is... One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section C. So on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kinda harsh?
What?
You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser. Which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can get blah 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 blah. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. Didn't the can say it came from the C section? But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Let me check that truth bullet one more time. Oh, Chem A2. So it did come from Section A. So what does that mean exactly? There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. I've already taken a good look at the Chem Lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Well, that's the plan. Let's piece it together. Or piece whatever we have. Do you have anything to say to me?
I see.
Makoto, I admit you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. Yes, I do. You are not wrong. I must admit, I am pretty clueless right now. Not literally, but, in the other sense.
Hey.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be oh, is this the classic logic puzzle where person A says person B is lying, person B says person A is lying, person C says they're both lying, stuff like that? I've never got a handle on those puzzles. I can't tell. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look at them over one more time. Thank you for the direction, I really appreciate that. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body?
Whew.
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. So, what does this mean exactly? My brain's a bit fried at the moment. I've been doing other things. So she was inevitably in the Chem Lab. Was she alone, or was she with some other person? What does the poison have to do with this?
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that is incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Okay, so if she attacked someone, her hands would have been at least somewhat spotted with blood, so... and someone here would have been injured, so there wasn't a major fight, I don't think. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. I think Kyoko said she'd found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation. Oh my god! The chess pieces. One has a pawn, one has a rook, one has a bishop, and one has a king. I think that's king. That's the king, yeah. So, what's missing? The queen and the knight. Is there some symbolism at play here? Which one was Sakura attacked with? The knight? I don't know. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree?
Hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the Chem Lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. This seems utterly suspicious. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then...
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words...
I got a scale from the Chem Lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balance,
In other words...
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
So then...
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out, or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then...
Now let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together,
hey,
and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. Don't play games with me, woman. Okay. I need to examine this bullet. There's 20 bullets! I have a feeling this is going to be a very long trial. Roughly the same weight, however, when the bottle shards were weighed against an intact bottle, the shards were found to be heavier. And this is with the figure. So, is it safe to say that the perpetrator purposely chose that bottle to attack Sakura with knowing it was heavier? I think that's a fair assumption. The question is, how would they know that? Who spends a lot of time in the rec room? Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be... a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this...
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message?
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
What the heck?
Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
I won't forgive you.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. Okay, now... Is it possible that someone just wrote Toko's name in order to pin the blame on her? I'm not saying it was you, Aoi, necessarily. But that is a possibility. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Now the question is, why that magazine? Because you could have picked any other magazine on that shelf. And... Oh, there we go. Trial time. Fantastic. I don't have time to process all this information. Again, I don't know... I don't know how anything connects.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
This investigation was a lot shorter and a lot more dense than the other ones. The other ones were more spread out and they had more explanation. This one's very... a lot is thrown at you. And you don't have a lot of time to process it. Even the game acknowledges that. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. I have to go in there and shoot whoever I see first. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery! What the... Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. Yeah, like people, they put LOL at the end of their messages just to lighten the mood, when in fact that doesn't really help. It happens more often than you think.
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy.
Well,
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends?
What?
He's right, that does make it seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me!
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt, one of us is the culprit. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? There's 6 people left. How did the crowd get so thin so fast? My god. It feels like only yesterday I was standing on this, this platform with 15 or 14, 15 other people? 14 other people. Because there's 15 total, right? Or is there?
Don't look at me!
No, I said it before and I'll say it again. It wasn't me. The culprit is one of us. Make no mistake about that. Oops-a-daisy. Okay, well I wanted to talk to people, but I guess I made a mistake. I made my way toward the elevator. But with each step I took, it felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. These are the most fun to read, I find. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few! You must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault that we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then.
Are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Can't believe I'm already here. Alright, set the skills. I have 5 skill points. What do I not have? What do I need? Bullet time battle. Reload 2 bullets at once. Ooh, cost 4. I'll take it. Alright. If anyone was likely to survive, it was Sakura, and yet, yeah, I know. This game plays you like a damn fiddle. I know I'm saying that a lot, I just love that line. Okay. Okay, alright, locked room. Let's take a look at these. 12 noon. Rec room 3rd floor, blow to the victim's head. No other injuries. Violent vomiting of blood. Chair jammed against the door handle, classic. Traces of blood around her mouth, presumably when she vomited blood. There's no injury or indication as to why she would have vomited blood. This is a total mystery. Blood stain at the magazines. Currently no explanation. How nice of Aoi to give this candy to Sakura. According to Aoi, she had monopolized this candy as soon as it had become available, so obtaining a piece would have been difficult to impossible. Is it safe to say that Yasuhiro contacted Aoi and got a candy just because he was feeling like it, and then you? I shouldn't say things. I shouldn't say things like that. Shards must have come from. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That doesn't necessarily have to be a Monokuma bottle. It could have been a chemical bottle from the Chem Lab. That's okay, that's what I was missing. That was what in the back of my mind. Okay, I understand. Because there were red bottles in the Chem Lab, right? And they were labeled as poisons. But the question is, how exactly were those poisons used in this scenario? I would think that they were used on the candy, and then Sakura ate the candy and then vomited blood and died. That's what I'm thinking. Monokuma figure was found lying on the rec room floor, would fit roughly in the palm of your hand. That's the knight. Unknown correlation between the bottles are all chess pieces. I know this. Makoto does not. Hehehe, I'm smarter than him. Okay, protein drink. A2. Both around and underneath the container. That's puzzling. That's really, really puzzling, because I'm trying to imagine this scenario in my head. You break through the window, you fumble around for the door handle, Sakura's still dead in the chair, the locker's open. How does this happen? Fresh handprint in the open locker. Sakura had written notes to Toku, Byakuya, and Yasuhiro. These are the suspects, according to Aoi. He didn't see her, she didn't see her. There's a thing in Yasuhira's pocket, yellow powder on Sakura's shoe. 2 blows to the head, apparently. No blood on the hands. Yeah, this inevitably came from the Chem Lab, one of those red bottles. And you can't exactly discern that the broken bottle is a Monokuma bottle. Just because the figure's there doesn't really mean that it is. Toko's name had been written in blood. Could have been a frame job, could have been an actual truth, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, look at that bottle there. That's a similar shape to the Monokuma bottles. C4 broken on the floor. And someone was dumb enough to step in this powder. Nice, dude. Okay. That's all we have. I cannot put a finger on a single person. I have suspicions, but none of them are confirmed. I don't know who's the most likely, because you have this issue, this logic puzzle with Byakuya, Toko, and Yasuhiro. They all claim they didn't see Sakura. So maybe it was Aoi? Although, yeah, I'm not sure though, because, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to think on this. Thank you very much for watching. That was Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, the moment before the class trial in Chapter 4. Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc is available on Steam and the Vita for $30. The sequel, Goodbye Despair, is also available on Steam and the Vita for $30. Please pick them up, because this game is fantastic, and I imagine the sequel is also fantastic. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Toodaloo.